Browns still have a coaching vacancy after firing Kevin Stefanski. Jesse Minter, Mike McDaniel, and now Grant Udinski have all pulled their name out in Cleveland. However, it appears the Browns have 4 candidates still remaining for their head coaching position, and Nate Scheelhaase, Jim Schwartz, Todd Monken, and Anthony Lynn. But maybe there's a name on the list that should be given a little bit more consideration considering their quarterback room and his coaching experience. That person is Deion Sanders. Should he maybe be added to the list of potential coaching candidates in Cleveland?
I think it comes down to what's the reason you're saying you're bringing Deion Sanders. I think if the sole reason is you feel as though Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback, I don't believe going to get his father to now come over and coach the team is the answer to that. My thing is Shedeur was a late-round draft pick. He got his opportunity to perform last year. He proved that he deserves an opportunity this year to compete to start to be their quarterback. I don't think they're going to just hand the keys over. It's very different from college where in the NIL you go out and you get a quarterback that is going to be your guy. There's not much competition that takes place in the college football game anymore. So I think going to get a head coach that you're saying we're only going to get him specifically because we believe he's the best guy to coach this one player on our team isn't the answer. I think that was the answer in college for Colorado because of so much of what it brings and what Deion Sanders brings. You're talking about ticket sales. You're talking about jobs for the people in the city of Boulder. It put Colorado on the map. In the NFL, you don't need someone to put a team on the map. You need to find out how to win games. That's what translates. Find out on every Sunday how to score more points than your opponent. I think the NFL is moving in a way in which you have to have a head coach that gives you an advantage. One, as a play caller, or whether it's offense or it's defense, or 2, from a game management standpoint. Look at the 2 coaches in the Super Bowl right now. Mike Macdonald, from a defensive play calling standpoint, is a mastermind. Mike Vrabel, you watch him on Sunday as Drake May is running towards the sideline and he slides. He's calling the timeout before his knee even hits the ground. He's substituting guys late on defense while Sean Payton's changing personnel. Those are the advantages that head coaches give you that you need nowadays to be able to win and propel your team to a Super Bowl. So I do think the thought of Deion Sanders reuniting with his son Shedeur is an amazing story. As a father, I see that and it brings tears in my eyes and joy. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I don't know that that's the best move for the Cleveland Browns as an organization.
Here is the best way to put it. And Deion Sanders, my brother, we go back a long ways. This is the most accurate and fair way to put it.
Yeah.
I hope this happens for him. His resume doesn't warrant it. That is the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because, yes, you were 27-6 in leading Jackson State to consecutive SWAC titles and a 21-12 record in 2022. Yes, you had a winning season in Shedeur Sanders last year in Colorado.
9-4, right?
9-4. You have 2 losing seasons, all right? You know, you were like 4-8 or whatever it was the first year there. You were 3-9 last season. Okay, so you've had 2 losing seasons in the 3 years that you were there. This last season, which was your worst, was without your son. When you won, it was with your son. At Jackson State, and then that, you know, those 2 years at Colorado, the 1 year that you had the 9-4 record, you won with them, okay? I believe that Deion Sanders can coach. I think the man knows football. I think he knows how to galvanize folks.
Absolutely.
We all know that he's the greatest cornerback in the history of the sport.
No doubt about it.
We know that his football IQ is top-notch, and he can go out there and compete. You give him equal talent, he can make some things happen. And obviously in the National Football League, you're going to have talent that you don't have at Colorado when you're going up against some monsters in college football. So the talent level is going to elevate. So I have no doubt that if he were an NFL coach, that I believe he would do a good job. But the question is whether or not you deserve it. And it can't always be about you coaching your son. Now, here's the other part that we'd be remiss in neglecting to bring up. If you were to get the Cleveland Browns job, is that why Shedeur Sanders had such a hard time getting the opportunity? Because coaches and people within the organization were sensing that you were the heir apparent, the Kevin Stefanskis of the world, and people working under him? Because now you're going to have people having those questions. They're going to accuse him of lurking all along, which is just going to add more pressure to Shedeur Sanders, who's now been named as an alternate as a Pro Bowler. You're going to have all of these questions, all of these suspicions, all of this stuff coming up. Me personally, I have been on the record. Deion, in fairness to him, when we've spoken, he has adamantly disagreed with me. I have always said, I don't want you in Colorado. Deion in Boulder, Colorado. Don't mess with me. I wanted that brother in the SEC. I wanted him at Texas A&M. I wanted him at Florida. I wanted him in someplace like that. Or no, not the SEC with Florida State. I thought Florida State should have hired him. I wanted him someplace like that. Not at Boulder, Colorado. I'm sorry. I just don't see it.
Look what he's done there.
I'm just sorry. I mean, it's hard because, you know, cats gonna want to come to Boulder. Really, you got some people there, but now you're seeing others transferring and stuff like that. I'm just saying, I think he could do the job in the NFL, but you can't look at his resume and say definitively, oh, he absolutely deserves this opportunity. He should get it. Because, again, you got to coach without your son sometimes. Let's see what happens.